Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here with a market update, a special video. I haven't touched base with the YouTube crowd out there. I've been really doing things in-house at Day Trading Radio for the members. It's just been such a busy week and such a profitable week with the Array Pharmaceuticals being bought out, and I had all those calls in it. So very good day and everything, or actually a good week, and then our Broadcom and everything working out good. I decided I'm here Sunday evening. I said, well, let me get on there, discuss the markets. There's so many topics of conversation right now. Right now, I just texted Paul to see if he could get the Bitcoin chart on the site for the weekend, because I'm noticing right now he put it up, and it's a breakout over 10,000 on some really good volume. So there's a lot of action here in the market, and maybe this hits someone out there who's getting interested in the market. Don't be afraid of the market being up this high. That's one of the main topics of conversation that I would like to discuss. Alright, so the first thing is, markets here making all-time highs again yesterday, today, follow through on that. A couple things I want to mention. I know a lot of people, we have a big community of traders here at Day Trading Radio. First thing I want to tell you, if you're not a member of Day Trading Radio, come over, take the trial. There's a 10-day free trial, no credit card. Take that, check it out. Come into the chat room. Come into the trading room. We have so many different things. We got bots running. We got, we got live trading, futures rooms, options room, stock trading, the high probability watch list, the RockBot, the tradeometer. I mean, it's just really too much to mention there. And you can check it all out. Check it out for 2 weeks. So definitely do that. And we're going to put the Bitcoin map over the weekend because that's active right now, like I said. But I want to talk about the S&P 500. Even though we're hitting all-time highs, the community, that I have here at Day Trading Radio, they're a diverse group. We have bulls and bears and stuff. Just like any group, there's always two sides of every story. There's people that hate the market going up and people that hate the market going down. Some people see the glass half full, and some people see the glass half empty. And I could tell that from doing this for like a billion years. Well, not a billion years. I mean, just being in a community of traders from 2007. That's a long time, and you get to feel that out. You get to almost see you could use that as an indicator. I always use that as an indicator. When we do a poll in the morning, we say, what do you think the market's going to do today? And lots of times we'll have almost a landslide of one direction, and and then we go back and look at the end of the day, and most likely the market has gone in the opposite direction of what most people were thinking. So in this case, we're up against highs. A lot of people think we're going to get that pullback. A lot of people, think we could actually rally here further. I'm on the side that I think we could actually rally here. And I want to make my case right here. We just recently had a breakout. I mean, this is really the last 2 days of breaking out, and we've gotten up to this level basically 3 times, maybe even 4 times. So we go back all the way back here to 2018, but not really. We're going to call the 2019 area a big that level, and then of course May high. We pulled back, we bounced, and now we're right back at this level. Now, if you look at this in a big picture, in a technical view of things, like I like to do, we're following momentum. We're following a lot of different things. Now, what can we read on this chart? Well, definitely the stochastics here, the oscillator here is embedded, and that's typically a good thing. When we trend, and I can tell you from experience, when we trend and we get into a market trend, be it down or up, it is true that a trend in motion stays in motion. All right. Now, how do you know a trend's in motion? Well, it's a series of higher highs and higher lows, and usually I call it an embedded stochastics, where rotation typically happens between 0 and 100. If you get pinned up there above that 80, and especially the higher the number, that's just tremendous strength in that vehicle. That whatever you're trading, there's tremendous strength there, and it just doesn't die out. It slowly dies out. So you have this momentum, and you usually get more momentum, and then finally you might get some news out there. So you see we came out of the 20 period moving average through the 50, and we're holding up here, and we're just starting to ramp up and not really pull back to the 20. Lots of times this market will pull back to 20, push up, pull back to the 20, but when we get into significant rally, we'll tend to hold off of that 20 period moving average. And that's what I'm saying right now. Now, we're pretty extended here. We're pretty extended. So I'm going on a limb here saying that we're actually going to get a little further move higher. But there's a couple things that are coming up that, first of all, we're on the brink of war with Iran. I mean, I might be exaggerating a little, but we were close to I like how Donald said he's cocked and loaded, and he pulled back from bombing Iran. But the market didn't care, The honey badger market didn't care. It would continue to push higher. Trade talks have been on and off for the last year, and tariffs come and go, and Mexico tariffs come and go, and yet the market continues to push higher. Basically anything can happen. It's almost a Teflon market at this point, but you don't want to get complacent and not think that the market can't hurt you. But there is times when you have to strike when the iron is hot, so to speak. You have to sow when the I don't know all the terms, but you know where I'm going with this. You got to make your profits when profits are there. So going into the weekend, we have in front of us next Friday the G20 meeting happening. That's between President Trump and President Xi of China. That starts on a Friday, goes into Saturday. Probably won't get any type of resolution out. Maybe we'll have some commentary coming out for the beginning of the week. But who really thinks a deal could be done over a G20 meeting? I don't think that's going to happen. So I think there's a good chance that we could hedge into that meeting. Meaning if nothing comes out on Sunday, it's almost going to be a slam dunk that the market moves out. But now what happens if there's something, they make some kind of deal? Well, the market explodes higher. So it's like welcome to the casino, but I think the odds are things are just not going to get better in one meeting. It's just it's a process. And I think people are like overly optimistic on this event. So my call is a continued rally next week, or at least a levitation up into the G20. Maybe into Wednesday, maybe into Thursday. Definitely in the earlier part of the week, we get that continuation move. As we get up there, we might start to see some selling before the weekend, just people start hedging their bets and stuff. And I would like to hedge my bet, but I don't think a deal is going to come out over the weekend. Might be totally wrong, but it really is a guessing game where we're taking the odds of how things have played out in the past. So we'll take some puts going into next week and hope for a gap down on Monday, and then it'll be back to normal, and we'll probably end up going up higher and stuff, but just for an interesting trade like that. Anything happen this week, of course, this weekend, over this weekend, the weekend of the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd, if anything does come to affect the market, we take it as we see it. We can't predict that stuff. So if it does happen and there's a rug pull, all bets are off the table. But as I'm reading here, we are looking very strong, and it looks like to go higher. So look for an early push next week. I would like to start hedging up going into the next weekend. I don't think there's going to be a deal done. I think the market probably reacts on that. But overall, there's there is always a support under this market, and as long as the powers that be are in charge, and the Fed is on the side of the market. The old saying, the adage, don't fight the Fed, really is important to pay attention to. Don't think you can outthink the market. You're thinking it belongs back down on $1,000. I mean, it's if the market reads all, and right now it's reading some good things, and that's why it's reacted up here. So let's talk about a couple stocks. I want to just give you a couple stocks we're looking at next week. We had two. These went on the HPS watch list. As you get as a member of Day Trading Radio, every Friday I put out a precise video watch list of the stocks that are going to be traded next week, the breakout levels, the stops, the profit zones, everything automated, and it comes right to your emails and comes into your phones and stuff. So every move that we're making here at Day Trading Radio. But a couple of the stocks from this week watch list I want to discuss. Rubbermaid, which is a weekly divergence. Now, divergences are something we trade a lot at Day Trading Radio, and we have a series of lower lows, and this lower low right there, that candle and that little reversal, you can see how we held up here. I'm very bullish on a divergence at this level. A weekly divergence. on New Rubbermaid brands. Yeah, it's suffering from severe stock rot, which is a stock that's gone down almost 2 years. But with a divergence, you got to step up. So I'm up on this and continue to step up and build in a position here with the options going out. The other one, we saw some good option activity in FLR today. And look at this lower trend line. Now, we've been in this, and I took profits today, and I still have, do I have anything? I have 100 shares left on this. It's up to 32.37. Postmark, you don't see it on here, but I think a trade went through after hours, about 300 shares, has a gapping up a little, and it was tremendous. You could see here the volume that came in from 2 o'clock on, and this thing really ran. It was tremendous volume, and there was some alerts going out that there was high interest, bullish call volume and interest. So we added to that. No, I actually took profit. I held on to that. I added to, what did I add to today? I added to a couple different things. But let's just talk about the newer Rubbermaid, the FLR. The other one here that I was going to bring up for us, the KHC. And I've discussed this, and I keep on remembering that a lot of people that are seeing this video not on the, you don't get the membership video. So I'm going to revert and kind of reverse and talk about some of these again. This was KHC. We talk about the breakdown out of a consolidation. This is a consolidatory breakdown, which is called a capitulation move. And what happens is we get their rebound. So when you get a sell-off here, you wait a couple, usually 2 to 3 days. This in case 4 days. You might even go to 5 days of just that rotation. And we get down, and almost 90% of the time we bounce back up and retest the breakout level. In this case, because it's a quality name and it's been hit so much, this looks to me to be a capitulation move in a bigger way, that we bottomed out here, and I expect this to trade back into this pattern and through it to the upside and just start to base out. Right now we're looking at that to follow through next week. So a couple of these cheaper ones that have been hit, bottom plays you might even call them, looking good. So that's that. And of course I have two biotechs. Our ARRY got bought out. We're in that, man. That was made my week. Made my week. I got to give a shout out to Steve out there, who that pointed me in this direction. He did a lot of good research. He got me interested, and I did my research. I started buying the calls. It wasn't more than a couple weeks before this thing popped, and we made a ton of money on this. So the other one he has passed on to me is AUPH. Now I have all the information on this, the cancer drug, or actually it's a lupus drug, and it's also they're working on some other things, and good things coming down the pipe on this one. So I again building a position and options on this going out to October. Supposed to be some trials due this summer. It's a cheaper one. It hasn't been, you know, really active. It's been going sideways in the 6 to 7 range area. So you know, we'll see. We'll see if it works. If it works, I owe this guy a few bottles of champagne. And again, when it comes to biotechs and stuff, there's so many out there. So if someone has done their research and they get my attention, and I do my research, and it ends up smelling good, I don't really like to get involved in someone else's dreams. But if it's, you know, you can't deny good research, and just, you know, when something looks good and does good, you know, I'm going to get in it. I'm going to give him all the credit he has coming to him. Just like we give you VERU. VERU now has continued to run up here, and you know, VERU's my baby. In VERU from 2018 down here at $1.18 was my first entry. Yeah, we ran it up. We pushed it all the way up to about 220 to 240. It came all the way back down, and it consolidated after doing a deal. Now the earnings are coming out. They're selling their female health product and some of these, you know, weird stuff as a product. I don't want to go into it. I really don't want to go into it. But their products make them money. It's a rare case where you have a drug company that has a product that's making and funding for all the things. So there's some good news coming. You could tell the way the stock is going. And so I'm long, and I haven't sold any shares. And I'm very excited about this one. My cost average now is $1.64. I originally got $1.18, but I added up more. I added to it and added to it up around 2, expecting a breakout. It pulled back, but now we're back at 2 and stuff. And you know, I want to see this thing. We want to break through that. If we look at the big picture here. Here it is. This is a totally different company back here. It got crushed, and now it's starting to come out of the ground like the phoenix it is. And we should see this thing continue. The roadmap is out there, and it looks pretty damn good. So very happy about that one. AUPH. Is there any other AUPH? I have that LIXT, LIXT, but I don't really know much about that. That is a you know, consolidation here that's been just holding. And I very rarely do you see something that come from, you know, I got in at this at 18 cents. 18 cents, and it moved. All right, it moved, and I did not take profits on this because it was 18 cents, and it's like, all right, this is a lottery ticket. I started seeing it consolidate here. I haven't added to it, so my original shares. But I've never really seen a stock that's gone from this level and just really just consolidate. There's really good support here. So there's something here that I like. You know, very rarely do I see this. And if we could get a pop out of this, another double, another triple, I'm all about this. So I have it on my radar. We'll see what happens with it. I haven't sold a share of this either, and we're waiting for that to move. So there's a couple biotechs, kind of spec plays, you know. Put the so-called disclaimer in front of all those setups. These things could not work. They might not work out either. You know, what if one of them comes out with bad results? Someone croaks or something. You know, goodbye to your money. Yeah, these are always a gamble. But the gambles, you know, as a professional poker player, you know, we pick the card, we pick the hands we want to bet in, and that's how you win. All right, so last thing we should touch base on. It looks like Bitcoin's still hanging up here at 10,400. Discussed some of these biotechs that I'm really liking. The drug companies I'm really liking. So low up. Oh, here's a couple of the low price stocks. SIG, 6% yield. It has an awful chart to it. Awful chart to it. It's awful. What are you gonna do? I mean, I'm starting to sniff around here and starting to buy some calls here, just looking for a pop. That's more of a gamble. SIG, especially with gold going up. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're going to get something for it. Maybe they're going to go private. I don't know. It's just a shot in the dark. And the Liongate Film bought another 10 calls today. This is another one. The value of the Stars Network on this thing is really good. It did pop last week on some news, and we actually took some profits on it. I took some profits, held on to some calls, and then I added some calls here. I was just surprised at the weakness on this. So I'm taking a shot at a couple cheap ones. Like I said, these are not the high probability watch list standard setups, which if we look at those, like the Clorox, which was a beautiful divergence here. You know, this is our textbook play right here. Clorox, CL, I think a variant recently had that divergence. They continue to push higher. You know, just go to the HPS watch list. Oh, plan, we took the plan off. As I have a little plan left, but this one I expect to, you know, kind of give you 30% this year. I think this continues to rally, and you got to buy this. It'll be taken out just like Tableau was. Data. You know, these stocks, software application stocks, really nice, really good. This one got bought out. I expect that to happen to plan. And this is a recent IPO, and it's just been heading up, so looking good. I ended up getting into Pinterest today a little. Excuse me, PINS. just on that little pullback, not much going on there. All the good stuff again for next week. Apple, AAPL. I bet a lot of people like this one. 3-day consolidation. A breakout of that 2060 area. Just start to get this thing going. You'll know when to get in. Just like the Boeing, when we had Boeing, we knew when to get in the other day on Boeing. It was just not selling off with the market. So we got in here. Next day we had a huge run. We got out. And I'm looking for a re-entry now on this. I'd love to be able to get back in on some kind of pullback. I mean, I don't know where we could get it in. I don't think it's going to give us much of a pullback. But I'm just waiting on it. That was also a divergence back here. There was a reversal candle and a divergence. That is what you get at DTR, Day Trading Radio. These divergence setups, these are our money makers. When we don't have those, we're trading short-term scalps. We have a lot of great stuff going on. Another thing I noticed, I trade with a couple different accounts. I have a couple accounts with NinjaTrader. I mean, Interactive Brokers. I have one account with NinjaTrader. And I have another account that I trade some options with. And what I notice is the account that's under the 25K mark, you can't really do much with it. So if you're trading under, I could definitely tell you what accounts do the best is having free reign in your buying and selling. What I mean by that is being able to get in and get out and not having to worry about burning a trade. Burning a trade, or if you're just like you're limited to 5 trades, or is it 3 trades in a 5-day period? That is nothing. I mean, you could blow through that in one day, or you put yourself into a position and you don't want to get out of that position because you don't want to burn a trade and it's going against you. You're just hoping that the next day it's up. That is a losing formula right there. So unless you're trading your free reign of your trading abilities, you're going to be behind the 8 ball 90% of the time. You can make money swinging these things. That's what the HPS is about. But like I said, when the swings are not there and you're going to get involved in a chop, you could get chopped up pretty bad, and that's where you're going to get hurt. And who wants to be waiting around a couple days watching other people trade, and trades going on, and you're missing them? So I know it's a big thing, and a lot of people don't have that capital to trade, and they start off trading $5,000 to $10,000. And they can't get in. They're like, oh my God, the IPO, but I only have a trade left. I can't get, you miss out on a lot, and it just messes you up 100% in your mental state. You're applying your application, applying your criteria and your strategies. You cannot apply anything effectively if you're tied and you don't have free reign of your trading. So do the best you can to get to that level. You can trade the futures without being pinged. And I'm not even sure, but I think if you have a cash account, you could probably be in and out and stuff, but you don't get the margin. And again, you're not doing. You could do something with that. I'm actually not 100% sure. I apologize on that if that's some. But the other thing is, and I want to give them a plug, is find a broker that does not fall under the FINRA day trading pattern day trading rule. I mean, and that's not regulated by the SEC in the United States. Now you might say, well, maybe Europe, Canada, or something like that. I deal with SureTrader a lot in the past. I'm still very friends with them, and they have that platform. And I'm just going to say that that is one of the platforms that you could do that do not require, or they're not regulated by FINRA because they're not in the United States, but they're open. And I don't even know if they're open to U.S. citizens, but I believe you can open up an account. I don't know. You could just, I don't know if you have to use a VPN or you could do it out of the United States, but there is no pattern day trading rule. And you could open an account real cheap and you get 6-to-1 margin, and you can get in and out of these trades as fast as you want. The drawbacks, I believe, the commissions are probably a little higher, and and just getting your money in and out, wiring it, I believe the fees are a little bit more expensive because it's international. But other than that, legitimate broker, and you got to use it for what it is meant to be used for, to get by that pattern day trading rule, which I think kills traders. It kills traders. So if you want to get involved in stocks, either look into doing a cash account, but even better, if you want to use the 6-to-1 margin, check out SureTrader. It's suretrader.com. And again, I'm not sure if you could get on there due to they try to regulations and stuff, the whole thing with not being under the FINRA rules. But I think there's ways around it, so you have to do your own research on that. But that's something that I was thinking about today. I said it's a shame, because yesterday we took so many different trades. We were in a couple IPOs that were being released. There was we're in and out of the Boeing and the breakouts. There were just I think I took like 10 trades yesterday, and that's what you need. You need to be able to be in something real fast and get out real fast. If you don't, well, that's what you have to work for, that freedom. And you have to figure out how to get that. Maybe European accounts don't apply. I know the SureTrader, you could use the SureTrader platform and do it. I'm not familiar with anything else. So take that information and run with it. All right. So that's that. I just want to throw that out. And what was another thing on my notes? We went over the weekly time frames yesterday, or last week, and those weekly time frames are a lot to do with those cheaper stocks now too, like like the New World Rubbermaid, like the FLR, like the Kraft and stuff. These are all setting up pretty good on those weekly time frames. So we could actually hold out and kind of just ride this little wave. Even if you do get some pullbacks, there's some really good setups here, and that's another reason I think we move higher, because we do have a lot of weekly positive setups. Just to give you an example, here's Apple. Apple's an extremely bullish uptrend right here, extremely bullish on a weekly time frame. Once you start to move up and you get those weekly candles, look at what happened here. Remember, each candle represents 5 days. It's not just you're looking at. We're so used to looking at a 1-minute time frame or a 5-minute time frame or a daily time frame. This is a weekly time frame. So this is just starting out. I mean, this could be up here at 230 in a flash in a few weeks. But remember, this is weekly, and it takes a while to get there. But you can see we are in a very bullish, aggressive area and a very highly weighted stock in the S&P 500. So you'd like to see Apple move. It helps the team out. Definitely helps the team out. And that goes probably with Netflix, NFLX, which I think is very bullish here. We had a nice pullback on the weekly. Weekly's just starting to move up, and you might even call this a weekly divergence, the way I'm looking at that higher low and that little lower low and that double bottom there. So even Netflix been getting a lot of hype about this new movie, Murder Mystery, with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. I watched it the other night, part of my research. I always do research. I'm always doing research. I had to buy a whole Xbox and stuff because I'm researching Microsoft, and I had to go to Rick's Cabaret because I'm researching that stock. So Netflix here, I'm watching that movie, and it's not a bad movie. It was pretty funny. Made me look at the stock again. I traded Netflix. It's nice consolidation. The weekly has caught my eye with a divergence. Yeah, I see this going higher. So all these things adding up, I think we go much higher. Another thing, the last thing I want to just mention, I might get flamed on this on the internet a bit on this being too bullish on this, but we're in different times. 2008, 2012 are behind us. We had some issues in 2008, financial crisis. That has been corrected. We've put in some fail-safe things that kind of help us out, and all during this time we've adjusted the policy and put in stimulus, and now know how to control the market. And the market has just been rallying, and we've almost had like this little consolidation, and we're starting to break out of this consolidation like we had back here, a little consolidation back here, and then you break out, maybe test it a couple times, but eventually start to break out, which we just kind of very similar here. You see that dip down, up, pull back, and then rally. Dip down, pushed up, dip down, trying to rally. this could be beginning of a much bigger rally. I mean, 3,000s, I would say, is pretty much a given. The presidency, the Republican President Donald Trump, very pro-market. You know, even though anything he comes, they're coming at him pretty hard. He really is concerned about the stock market. I think the stock market's reacting that way, and you have to realize, love him or hate him, having him back the market with his, his constant pressure on the Fed has been showing some, if we go back to where he got in, I mean, it's been doing good. So as we come into election, there's no way he's going to want this market to be down. I mean, I'm sure this market's going to grind up into election, right? That's another thing. Into the presidential election, would not be surprised to see this market here trading at the highs. You got to think about that. So a lot of things, and again, not making a political statement here. If, like I said, you love them or hate them. Fact is, the market likes them, and that's what I care about right now, is being on the right side of the market. Half the job is done if you're trading with the market. It's not rocket science. If you have a very bullish trend, you're probably going to be saved on a lot of your charts if you're on the right side of the market, or right side, saved from your trades, even if they go against you in the beginning. Put yourself in a quality name and a pullback and a very bullish trend, you're going to be better off. So, all right, that's it. That's a nice update. Don't forget, we do got the bot here. Our bot is, we have the RockBot at Day Trading Radio. It's exclusive for members of Day Trading Radio. We're assigning it to its own channel. It's on its own channel right now. All members do, but we're very close to completing. It's going to have its own section that's going to be spun off of Day Trading Radio. Lifetime members always get everything that Day Trading Radio has. So if you're interested in getting in early on that, definitely take advantage of that. That should be, I was going to show you, but I'm actually doing some testing right now. My strategy analyzer is running some back testing, and it's not even close to being done. So I have to let this run. It's about another 56 minutes to go before I get my all my strategy testing and stuff. But my last, what we're working here with my last script, I think I have a picture. Do I have a picture of the script over here? I just took a picture before because something happened here. The last thing I wanted to discuss with you was the, if I could find this. Shoot. Maybe I don't. Here it is. Was the introduction of the micros. The micros are here. The ES micros, 1/10 of the S&P 500 futures contract, the E-mini contract, I should say, the ES E-mini contract. That is here, and I've been messing with it with the bot too, and the bot has been giving me some really great results with it. I have just started messing with it last week because we've always been focused with the ES, and we know that sometimes that ES could be a little heavy for some newer traders. It does, it could be down a few $100s in a blink of an eye, where the MES is just 1/10 of that, and you can actually scale in, and it just makes it so much easier, I believe, especially for beginner traders to get their feet wet trading. That the commissions are lower. Just a lot of things going on here. So I've been running some scans on this, running my my bot, the RockBot, and today was undefeated. It was just an amazing day. On the MES, it was 12 trades, 12 for 12. And even if I optimize this, which I'm optimizing it right now, we could see right here, the this was always set for regular ES. So, seeing how it's worked, I could always adjust some of these right now. But this was set for a regular ES mini contract with 5. But the 5 works great with the MES. So I want to be using that a lot, and you'll have that on the bot channel too. I'm planning to have, you can watch these this robot trade these overnight trades during the day. We're going to have 3 scripts on it, our buy divergence, our our short divergence, our bullish flag, our bearish flag, and then I have one that's called the original gangster, and we'll probably have that one running too, which is a very special one. So that is getting every day we're working on it. We're just getting the alerts set up here so that it gets sent to you at real time and everything else. So I just want to update you on that. Things going good. I'll probably do a whole separate video on that in time. Right now it's late Friday night. It's 10:30. I should wrap this video up. Hopefully you got some good information out of this. You can always come by Day Trading Radio. Find me there. DayTradingRadio.com. DJ, I almost call myself DJ Johnny Silver, my old pirate radio moniker. Anyway, I'll talk to everyone Monday. Don't forget, futures open up Sunday. We'll have the right now we have Bitcoin up and running on the overnight and over the weekend charts, but come 6 o'clock Sunday evening, I'll also have some of the futures up there. We'll get the first look at the futures. All right. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend, everyone.